Hey guys, it's FanOfFans47 here, and today we're going to be having a look at this once broken Wintair 12-inch table fan that I pretty much rebuilt from the ground up. These fans are pretty popular. I've seen these pop up all over Facebook Marketplace and eBay, so it is quite a common model. As you can see, this particular one was spray painted at some point during its life. You can see the blades are now different colors, which I think is kind of cool. Can't really see that while it's running, but it's still a cool aesthetic when it's turned off. So this particular unit came out of the building that my mom works in. She brought it home to me one day and she was like, yo, fix this, it doesn't work. So I immediately brought it up to my bedroom and plugged it in, turned it on, and it was just dead. All three speeds didn't work. The blades just didn't spin at all. No oscillation, no nothing. So what I ended up doing first is just taking the blades off to see if it's a bearing issue. And the motor started spinning really slowly and stiff. So I thought for almost certain it was a bearing issue. So I went ahead and started disassembling the motor. And I kid you not, that motor started crumbling in my hands. That thing was completely toast. So it was something way more serious than the bearing. So unfortunately at that point it was completely toast. So I decided to sort of improvise a little bit and put some custom components inside and sort of quote-unquote resurrect the fan. So here it is now, all put back together. Well, sort of. I'll explain more in a bit. But here's the front, as you can see. You can see the big Wintair logo right there. I don't even know if Wintair is a legit brand. This could be a I suspect this is actually a Medea-made model, but correct me if I'm wrong. You can see it's got your standard 3-speed spring control. Here's the side. You can already start to see right away some stuff that I stripped of this unit. And the back, which is where things really get interesting. So as you can see, the entire oscillation assembly is gone. And I'm basically just using the outer shell of the old motor as a mount for the new motor that I have in there. So, yeah, you can see the two wires coming out, going down into the base. And here's the other side. I don't know if you'll be able to see this very well, but you can see there is a new motor in there now. You can see it's just a generic 12-volt DC motor. You can see the blades are originally gray. And back to the front, and this thing is all... There we go. The cord was strangling the fan. There we go. Let's fix the camera here. There we go. So yeah, so I basically just put a new motor in and customized the speed controller so it just uses resistors. So yeah, it's basically the extent of what I could do. I didn't really have the proper supplies to fully get this thing working. So all three speeds do work. Unfortunately, it just doesn't oscillate anymore. So, oh well. And I guess we can go ahead and just demonstrate it now. Now, because this is only a 12-volt DC motor, it doesn't spin very fast. But we'll go ahead and start with low. And because of the DC motor, you don't get that 60 Hz hum. And as you can probably tell, it is quite a bit off balance. Yeah, it's not spinning very fast at all. That's probably around 400 revolutions per minute, which is very, very slow for a table fan. One thing that I will mention is because the motor is DC rather than AC, I did replace the power cord. You can see it is now a much thinner cord that goes over here to this 12-volt DC transformer here that I have plugged into a surge projector. So yeah. And the medium. So it speeds up a little bit. It's not too noticeable. You probably can't even notice it on the camera. But it's probably spinning at about 500 revolutions per minute now. And it's blowing a little more air. Like, it actually feels pretty good on my face. I'd say it blows around the same amount of air that a ceiling fan would on high. Which I guess isn't too bad. And like I was saying earlier, once you turn the fan on, the colors sort of just blend together and disappear. It would look cooler if the blades were spray painted in a way where they were like striped instead of solid colors. So have them all the same color, but just have like the stripes line up, if you know what I mean, and then it'll look like 3 different circles spinning. I think that'd be pretty cool. And the high. Yeah, you can really see it's off balance now. It's actually it's moving a pretty decent amount of air on the high speed, which is nice. And it's still whisper quiet. Oh. Didn't mean to do that. What I meant to do is turn the fan to its side so you can see the motor in action. There it is. You can see I'm using a custom shaft that I built out of spare parts that were just laying around. And yeah, you can really see how unbalanced it is. And the whole assembly is just being held together with zip ties. There we go. And off. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's my Wintair 12-inch table fan that was once broken, that I resurrected by pretty much rebuilding the entire thing. Now, before we end the video, I guess I'll go ahead and show you the information tag on the bottom, so you can see the original model number and stuff like that. Go ahead and zoom in here so you can see it in more detail. Up there you can see sort of a sneak peek of what I did inside. Yeah. See a wire nut there. There we go, Wintair. Model number is VT3-30, 120 volts, 0.3 amp, sorry, 60 hertz for the original motor, obviously. Serial number down there. And you can see it is dated, if it wants to focus, November of 2003. So it is definitely an older model. Early 2000s is when these fans started really going downhill in terms of quality, so I really wasn't surprised that this thing broke. But, you know, it is what it is. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed this interesting little video. Thank you very much for watching, and that'll be it.